Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be shedding light on why most people do not embrace a raw fruitarian diet. So why do most people desist and abstain from embracing a raw fruitarian diet? Why do most people not profusely indulge in eating raw fruits and raw vegetables? Well, they are discontent with omitting certain foods from their diet. They cannot jettison animal carcasses, animal secretions, nor synthetic bastardized man-made food products from their diet. They're also concerned about not being able to intake enough calories. However, you can assimilate ample calories even if you consume nutrient-dense, antioxidant-rich, anti-inflammatory, alkaline, raw fruitarian foods. Some calorie-dense, nutrient-dense, alkaline, antioxidant-rich, anti-inflammatory, raw fruitarian foods encompass avocados, coconuts, durian, and of course, olives. So, most people are unwilling to make concessions. They're unwilling to make concessions even if it would allow them to yield an improved health outcome. People should be concerned with attaining robust, vigorous, optimal health rather than assuaging their taste buds. People want to be able to eat foods that are succulent, scrumptious, delectable, savory, palatable, flavorful, appetizing, and tasty. And unfortunately, they deem raw fruitarian foods to be bland, bitter, and unflavorful relative to other foods that are chock full of additives. So, raw fruitarian foods for most people do not stimulate their palate, to say the least. They do not appeal to most people's taste buds, and that's the primary reason why people are dissuade from embracing a raw fruitarian diet. They do not want to jettison certain foods from their diet, and they believe that raw fruitarian foods are tasteless, to say the least, even though the irony is that they're far more succulent, scrumptious, delectable, savory, palatable, flavorful, appetizing, and tasty than the foods that are inundated with additives. Raw fruitarian foods have real, genuine, authentic flavors. They do not need synthetic flavors to stimulate your taste buds. Most people are also concerned about having a calorie deficit, which can be induced by becoming underweight and subsequently anorexic. If you're grazing all day on calorie diluted fruits and vegetables, you should be able to attain a healthy BMI by eating calorie dense fruits and vegetables in enormous quantities. On the other hand, if you're pressed for time and you only have a very finite, infinitesimal amount of time to eat, then you'll need to eat calorie dense, nutrient dense, raw fruitarian foods so that you can maintain a healthy BMI and not succumb to a calorie deficit inside your vessel. All 78 organs in your vessel need nutrients to thrive, prosper, and flourish. In view of a calorie deficit, the outcome, the ramifications, the repercussions can be devastating. So most people are concerned about not being able to meet their daily recommended calorie intake threshold if they embrace a raw fruitarian diet. Moreover, most people are also concerned about not being able to stimulate their taste buds if they embrace a raw fruitarian diet. And most people are unwilling to make enormous lifestyle adjustments, even if it can yield them improved health outcomes. Becoming a raw fruitarian can ameliorate your health. It can allow you to elicit improved health outcomes. Because when you're eating raw fruitarian foods, you're not eating anything inflammatory, you're not eating anything that is conducive to inducing free radical damage nor oxidative stress, you're not eating anything that is conducive to ravaging your DNA, truncating your telomeres, unraveling your chromosomes, and undermining your overarching health. When you're eating raw fruitarian foods, you are empowering your vessel. Raw fruitarian foods are chock full of macronutrients, micronutrients, phytonutrients, vitamins, minerals, enzymes. They empower you and elevate you and bolster every facet of your health. The organs need to harmoniously work together to allow you to function, and it's paramount, it's pivotal, it's incumbent, it's of eminent importance that they're properly nourished. So if you neglect to properly nutrify and nourish your organs, ramifications can be detrimental. Calamitous health issues can be induced from nutrient deficiencies, and just because you're embracing a raw fruitarian diet, if you choose to do so, you shouldn't shirk on taking vegan supplements. You should take vegan supplements in order to preempt nutrient deficiencies and in order to optimize your nutrient levels so that you do not have subpar nutrient levels. So, unfortunately, most people have an aversion to embracing the raw fruitarian diet. They are unknowledgeable about the raw fruitarian diet. They are obstinate about entertaining the notion of trying the raw fruitarian diet, and they're unwilling to jettison certain foods from their diet, even if it will shave off decades of their life. It doesn't make a modicum of sense, but it is what it is. Some people prefer to make insalubrious, imprudent decisions in lieu of prudent, salubrious, optimal decisions. But if people choose to make abysmal dietary choices and truncate their lifespans, increase their immortality rate, and inflame their vessels profusely, it is what it is, to each his own. They don't realize that the cost of assuaging their taste buds with unhealthy foods can come at the cost of developing a chronic, deleterious, lethal, perilous disease that can not only cause them to succumb to insufferable pain, but that can also shorten their lifespan by decades, unfortunately. So you should be mindful about what you intake, and you shouldn't neglect to mend your body. You want your body to be on the mend. You want your health to be optimized, and you want to take health optimization measures as soon as possible. The younger that you can start, the better. You do not want your health to atrophy, nor wane, nor diminish. You want your health to be augmented. You want your health to be enhanced. You want your health to eclipse your health when your body was in an inflammatory state. So, make prudent, salubrious dietary decisions, and do not neglect to optimize every facet of your health. When your health is compromised, when your health is abated, when your health is undermined, it can bear life-altering ramifications. So, take the precautionary measures conducive to optimizing your health, optimizing your longevity rate, and optimizing your well-being. Most people live for the spur of the moment, and they do not have any foresight into the future, or if they do have foresight into the future, they do not care about how their future will manifest itself into reality. If you make imprudent decisions, it can draw force unfavorable outcomes. Even though making prudent decisions doesn't always yield favorable outcomes, it's more conducive to yielding favorable outcomes than making imprudent, abysmal, egregiously wretched, formless, asinine decisions. Once again, I hope you found this video to be insightful and enthralling. Hopefully, one day, the consensus about embracing the raw fruitarian diet among the masses will change. They do not see the merits in the raw fruitarian diet, in spite of how meritorious and how worthwhile the diet is. They just deem it to be too much of a regimented diet that's too stringent and too regimented and too restrictive for them to follow, in spite of its benefits. Embracing a raw fruitarian diet can be beneficent, but most people would rather stimulate their taste buds, satisfy their palate, and assuage their appetite with unhealthy foods in lieu of consuming raw fruitarian foods. So it's quite a shame and quite a pity, but it is what it is. To each his own, I suppose. Once again, I hope that you deem this video to be informative. Have a blissful night. Goodbye.